Hi, this is the first video of 2022. It's gonna be a daily experience video, and I'm gonna share about my yesterday. Uh, to be honest, the holiday season is the most exhausting thing in my life. Like, I love it, I love shopping, I love all of it, but I actually, this hanging out with people all the time just wears me out. I'm like, and I'm getting better in that term as well. So I used to be like having a mental breakdown and thinking about suicide after like spending days with people. Now I just feel like I'm tired and need some days on my own. So I'm getting better, but even this year I got to this point when I was like, okay, so when will I have a week when I don't see anyone? um, and it happens when I feel very well, when I enjoy myself with people. So you don't need to like upset me to feel like I'm exhausted after a while. Uh, and so I was exhausted after the holidays, and then I had a 4 year long New Year's Eve party with my discipleship group. So we spent a whole weekend, a long weekend together. Um, we called it our New Year's Eve party, but we were just together for 4 years, 4 years, 4 days, and it was awesome. But then I felt like my social battery is not at zero, but at minus. So when I came home, I just felt like I don't even know how to connect with Jesus. My my head is just buzzing. I I'm I'm messed up. I need to take a walk and clear my mind. So I just did my last tasks and went on for a walk. I was planning. Budapest is quite beautiful and very well decorated around the holiday seasons, and the decorations are still up. And I wanted to like see them without hurrying into shops and buying presents. So just like I had this plan that maybe I should go and see these city lights and decorations without any other purpose. And I had this thought in my mind it would be a great date with Jesus sometime, but it just didn't happen in December. And as I was walking on the street, um, the Lord told me oh, this is it. Like, we could have our dates. Do you feel like doing it? And I was like, okay. I don't know whether my mood is perfect for this, but I'm in. And we bought chimney cake and hot chocolate, and we were walking down the the city lights. It's very beautiful. There is a street called Andrassy Street, and it's just beautiful in this season. All these lights and angels and stars like above your head, across the street. So it's just there's a feeling to it, even without the decorations. There's a feeling to this place, but it was very romantic. And I was just like, I felt like he was with me, but more like in me. So I didn't feel like he was holding my hand while walking. He was in me and as me. So when I was thirsty and he said, okay, we should get a hot chocolate, and I was like, oh no, they don't sell good enough hot chocolates here. I make better my own. And he said like, but if you like donate money to different ministries, don't you think that our date deserves a good hot chocolate? So I had no excuse. I had to buy something for us, and we were just chatting. I was talking to him about all the things that were going on my mind. There were a lot of things on my mind, and situations I had to make decisions about, and all kinds of disturbing and messy things. So I just told him what I felt like. I thought it would be a perfect day to like have worship on in my ears, and I was like, no, I'm not in worshiping mode, to be honest. um and there's a castle on the end of the street, and it's very beautiful, and there's an ice skating rink, that's what you call it. And it was so beautiful with all the lights. And I used to have a bad memory about like ice skating date, and it was just so good to be there with Jesus and feeling that he's like rewriting these memories. And I felt like Jesus was telling me that I can experience all the things I desire, like all my romantic desires can be fulfilled with him. And I have this list in my mind with ridiculous things I really love to do with someone. And Jesus told me that you don't have to wait for someone to do those things. And one of those things was have a great walk with chimney cake and hot chocolate in the Christmas city. And it was beautiful. Like Jesus is awesome on dates. um and yeah, I really mean it. Like you don't have to postpone those good feelings you associate with having a partner or having a perfect life. If those feelings can be possible in you, then you can feel them right now. So you don't have to postpone them. Or procrastinate. So it's like, if this feeling is possible and you can imagine having it, you can imagine that feeling in you, that it's possible to be in you. And if it's possible, why would you have it later rather than having it now? So you can have all your desires answered right now, and you don't need to attach those good feelings with other life situations, different circumstances, having a partner, having a perfect life, having a perfect career. And I know it's a bit sketchy to say that all your desires can be answered by Jesus, but I think unless you messed up your brain with porn or something like that, it is true. Even in that case, like God can heal your brain. I can't talk on that because I've never been there. But I think it's true that all your desires can be met with the love of God. So that's why I love these dating things, dating times with Jesus. I'm like a tourist in these times and just enjoying life and just stopping and staring at all the things and observing, and really like a tourist. So the castle was amazing in these lights, and we were walking around and talking, and then I walked across the city again because it was so beautiful. And there's a tram along the Danube in Budapest, and I was taking that, and I was just watching the Danube in the lights, and it was beautiful. I was super tired by the time I got home, so I just took a very long bath, and I love like having silent contemplation and just sitting in the bath, and oh, it's amazing. It's soaking in every sense. Then I thought there's time for some jobs to be done, so I was thinking about like preparing and photoshopping some pictures for my website. My paintings need a bit of correction before I upload them on my website, but I was like, oh, I just need a little bit of time with Jesus before that, and I ended up like spending the whole night with Jesus, like discussing issues and thinking about this year, and there were some debates. Like I try to find out what he wants, and I try to find out what I want. So maybe I will have a vision video out of that. These visions are related to my personal life mostly, so not that interesting for you. So it was great having a lot of discussions. At the castle there is a lake, and I was just sitting by the lake alone. No one was there, the wind was blowing. Actually, it was night, so not many people were in the streets. So it was great. and I was looking for some pictures for my website, and I couldn't find it in the last few days. And I just asked Jesus, like, oh, now that we are together, could you tell me where they are? And he did tell it. It was great. Yeah. There are great shop windows on this street, Andrássy Street, and I'm a shop window designer, a visual merchandiser by trade. I've never practiced it because I immediately entered full-time ministry as I finished school. But that's something I always wanted to do. And I was just watching these beautiful shop windows. The only place where you can find professional shop window design in the city is in this place, actually. And as I was walking, I saw a man, not very well-looking man. So he wasn't like a homeless person, but you could see that he was in trouble. And even on his appearance. And I was like, I must tell him that God loves him. And I was like, oh, he doesn't look okay, or someone to be trusted. And but I felt so attracted to walking up to him. I finally did, and by the time I arrived there, I started to know things about him. And I really loved it. Like, and I just told him everything I felt like, and he was surprised and he felt loved, and it was so funny. I told him, like, I feel like God wanted me to tell you that he loves you. And he said, like, oh, my whole body shivers by just you saying that. In the best sense, he added. It was so good. And he opened up and shared about his family and personal life, and it was an awesome conversation. We talked about how we talk to God. He is about to go to prison, and I knew that he was somewhere around prison, and he was like, he knew that God would help him, and he tried to do the things well, but it didn't turn out that way. And it's funny that we think about, like, criminals, like they are the evil one, the people who are dangling over the fires of hell. But they wanted to do good, and based on their bondages and traumas and pain, that's what becomes of the good intention. So that's how twisted the good intention gets along the bondage and along the pain. And it was crazy to hear that man right before entering prison that he's all about doing the right things. And yeah, it was crazy to see his heart in that situation. And we agreed that he would ask God to enter his life. He already had conversations with God every day. It was so funny. He said, like, I usually spend like around 10 minutes talking to God before I fall asleep. You know, he was a random man, a criminal on the street. And in my school of intimacy, where I teach people on experiencing God, that's what I tell them, like, you should start with 10 minutes. And so this man was already there. Yeah, so it was a very open and honest conversation, and it was so great to see that I wasn't interested in outreach or sharing the gospel. Like, I didn't even have the thought of my mind that I would share with anyone. I'm not really a great evangelist anyway, but he just accidentally flows through you. So you are the light of this world. Like, you just shine because that's what you are. You don't have to try to be shining. You just shine because that's what light does. So every now and then I have this question in my mind, like, if I'm lost in Jesus, isn't it irresponsible with all the people I don't reach out to. And I know it's not, but it was great to have this evidence yesterday that, oh, by being lost in Jesus, you are light. Like, I was just walking. I absolutely had the choice and the freedom not to talk to anyone because I had my date with Jesus, but it felt like fun to let him go through me, and it was great to see that. But by the time I opened my mouth, he was just flowing through me. Yeah, I loved it. So I had a very, very happy evening and one of the best dates in my life. Have a great date with Jesus. God bless you.